Hey guys, I hope you are having a most excellent Sunday. That trip to Kentucky yesterday to metal detect with Dad just like wore me out. And the drive home, I saw an accident that kind of stressed me out. And I got home and I was looking at the buttons that I had put away from railroad companies the other day, and I remembered all of these police and fire department buttons that I had found up at the button mill. And I'm still cleaning a lot of them, but I got out some of them to show you guys and share with you guys today to help kind of relate the story that I want to tell you about today. And today I did a little something here in the county, and I wanted to share that with you and tell you why I did that today. And then we'll use these police and fire department buttons as my perfectly valid excuse to share the story that I want to tell you. But this is what happened. Last night I was driving home from Kentucky, and I was driving on 25, US 25, which is the road that runs through the Cumberland Gap. It's a 4-lane highway. It's a very rural highway. And I came up on traffic pretty much stopped, and I saw flashing lights in the distance, and the traffic slowly moved up towards the accident, and I could see that it was a pretty bad accident even from a distance. In the dark I could tell that something horrible had happened. There was a lot of EMTs, a lot of fire trucks, and a couple ambulances were sitting there, and police cars. And as I was getting closer and closer to the accident, I saw a firefighter sitting on the side of the road, and his head was in his hands, and there was another firefighter standing behind him with his hand on his back. And I kept moving down the road and got to the scene of the accident, and it was a horrific accident, and I can only conclude that somebody had passed away in the accident. One of the cars was pretty much entirely destroyed. And you know, it just got me to thinking about trauma and accidents. You know, when something like that happens in our lives, we think of the victims, or when something happens to a friend of ours, we think of the victims in something like that. Whether it's a car crash, or a heart attack, or an accident at home, or suicide, or anything like that, we think about the victims. And if you've ever been in a car accident, you know how important those first responders are. Those are your link to life. And I have some friends who have worked as EMTs and driven in ambulances and work on fire trucks. And I've had a couple who have had to quit because of the stress of seeing these traumas every day. And it's a lot. It's a whole lot to take in and absorb for these people who walk up on death and tragedy and things that are unimaginable to us. Children hurt, parents hurt, families hurt, and they have to go home and absorb that. So today I wanted to do something special for the guys here in Unicoi County. And I know they weren't the guys who were involved in the accident last night, but the reality is, in their line of work, they will be the guys tonight, or tomorrow night, or the next night, who are involved in something like that. And they're going to be the guys who are picking up the pieces from something horrible. Hello.
Hey.
Howdy.
How's it going?
Good. My name's Chris Armstrong. I know it's a busy season. Brought you guys some ice cream and cookies. Say thank you.
Sir.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
You guys have a good evening. Keep it safe, okay?
All right, we'll do it. Stay safe out there.
All right. See you.
See you, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah. I wanted to share that story with you guys, and I wanted to invite you to thank a public service worker on any chance you can get like that. A fire department worker, an EMT, police officer. they have to deal with the things that are unimaginable to us. So if you see them, you don't have to take them ice cream and cookies, but if you see them, go out and of your way to thank them. Just, it's something that simple. Anyway, with that in mind, I remembered all these police and fire department buttons. So I want to share them with you guys. I don't have them all out here. A lot of them are still being cleaned, but I have a couple good examples out, and I wanted to share them with you because it is amazing to think that these were worn by the heroes of their time. These guys were all heroes, and firefighting back then was much different than it is now. Being a police officer is much different then than it is now. So I wanted to share these with you. It's a little taste of the past, and I find them interesting. So first off, there's a couple police buttons here. These are early police buttons, and I like these. They have a back mark that I believe dates them to between the 1850s and 1870s. So those are both really cool. Here's a couple other examples of these big P police buttons. These are more of like a script style. And here's one that just outright says police. So that's a pretty straightforward button. And then the last police buttons we're going to look at here are a little bit more personalized in that they are from specific areas. These two, I believe, are from the Boston Police Department. They say BP, and there's a cuff button and a larger one there, coat size. This one here is from the city of Pittsburgh Police, and I like that one because it has the seal of the city there in the middle. And here we have San Francisco Police button. It says SF Police, and it also has a little seal. I believe that was the city seal there. And this one is a Washington, D.C. Police button. And I really like that one because it has the eagle in the center, and just because it's from our nation's capital, that one's kind of neat and significant to me. And then down here along the bottom we have some fire department buttons, and almost every fire department button I found just said FD on it. And although I like those buttons a lot, and I really appreciate those buttons a lot, there's only one that was to a specific city, and it is from the city of Philadelphia. So I think that's pretty neat, and it's the only fire department button I found that was kind of individual to a city. So it's really neat, and I think it's neat to imagine these heroes in their day. And I'd like for us all to remember the heroes of our day and the firefighters and the emergency services workers out there working the streets trying to keep us safe. So I hope you enjoyed this look at the buttons, the little story of my day, what I got into today, and I hope you guys can get into something great today. Just another day in the life. I'll see you tomorrow. Fixing to have a little supper.